Nearly 30 years after Tupac Shakur was gunned down on the Las Vegas Strip, testimony is underway in the murder trial of the only man ever charged in connection with his killing. Dwayne Kef D Davis is standing trial, accused by prosecutors of orchestrating the September 1996 attack that ultimately took the life of one of the most influential artists in hip-hop history. And the first days of testimony have already produced emotional evidence, graphic details, surveillance footage from the night Tupac was shot, and dramatic testimony from a witness who made it clear that he did not want to help send Kef D to prison. But before we get into the latest developments, here's an important disclaimer. Before we begin, this video is for news reporting and commentary. The murder trial of Dwayne Kef D Davis in connection with the 1996 killing of Tupac Shakur is ongoing. The information presented in this video includes statements and allegations made during court proceedings, witness testimony, evidence presented in court, and publicly reported information about the case. Prosecutors allege that Davis was involved in planning and facilitating the attack that resulted in Tupac Shakur's death. Davis has pleaded not guilty and disputes the allegations against him. Statements or allegations discussed in this report should not be interpreted as established facts unless specifically identified as such. Dwayne Davis is presumed innocent unless and until proven guilty beyond a reasonable doubt in a court of law. Now let's get into what is happening inside that Las Vegas courtroom. The case against Kef D. Tupac Shakur was just 25 years old when he was shot on September 7, 1996. That night, Tupac had attended the Mike Tyson vs. Bruce Seldon fight at the MGM Grand in Las Vegas. After the fight, surveillance footage captured Tupac and others in his entourage involved in an altercation with Orlando Anderson inside the MGM Grand. Anderson was the nephew of Dwayne Kef D Davis. Later that night, Tupac was riding in a BMW driven by Death Row Records co-founder Marianne Suge Knight when a white Cadillac pulled alongside their vehicle near the intersection of Flamingo Road and Koval Lane. Gunfire erupted. Tupac was struck multiple times. He was rushed to the hospital, where doctors fought to save his life. 6 days later, on September 13, 1996, Tupac Shakur died. For nearly 3 decades, no one was prosecuted for his killing. That changed when Kef D was arrested and charged with murder in 2023. Prosecutors are not alleging that Kef D personally fired the shots that killed Tupac. Instead, prosecutors allege that Davis helped obtain the firearm and participated in planning and facilitating the retaliatory attack. The prosecution's theory is that the shooting was retaliation for the MGM Grand altercation involving Tupac and Davis's nephew, Orlando Anderson. The defense disputes the prosecution's case, and Davis has pleaded not guilty. The MGM Grand video is shown to the jury. Now, the events that happened hours before Tupac was shot are being reconstructed inside the courtroom. Jurors have been shown the famous MGM Grand surveillance footage. That footage captures the altercation involving Tupac, Orlando Anderson, and members of Tupac's entourage. This is significant because prosecutors are using that confrontation to establish what they believe was the motive behind the shooting later that night. The prosecution argues that what happened inside the MGM Grand set in motion the events that followed. But prosecutors still have to convince the jury that Kef D was criminally responsible for what happened afterward. And that means proving their case beyond a reasonable doubt.